Gamers are doing a great job holding the line against NFTs in gaming right now. But for how long?
DrDisrespect's new game studio, Midnight Society, has announced their founders passes for the game codenamed Project Moon. The kicker here, though, it's an NFT. If you're living under a rock, you may not know
Dude, what a fucking intro, man. But the kicker is, it's an NFT. Da-da-da-da-da, like fucking Doom music. Fucking, this is so great.
NFTs are making their way into the gaming space, with companies like Team 17, Ubisoft, and GSC Game World being among the most notable in recent memory. Two of those instances, however, were met with overwhelmingly negative response from the community, to the point where both Team 17 and GSC opted to remove NFTs from their projects, with Ubisoft having to unlist the court's announcement trailer on YouTube after having received over 20,000 dislikes. And now the
and this is what happens with a lot of these games, is that like the gamers can unironically rise up, but here's why they won't with pay to win. It's because a lot of people want to win. A lot of people want to win. And there's so many people out there that it ain't that bad, to be honest. Exactly. And there's one right there. It ain't that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad. It could be worse. Oh, at least it's not like this other game.
Taking his lashings online over the recently announced founders passes to his new game, codename Project Moon. Founders passes.
Someone said, by the way, that pay to win isn't all black and white, and that the problem is infinitely scaling pay to win. I actually want to address what you said, because I think that you're right. I think that, for example, like the crystalline aura is not really pay to win, even though by any definition of pay to win, it effectively is. I think the biggest problem with pay to win in games is whenever you can infinitely spend money and infinitely gain power because of it. It's kind of like the difference between, like, let's say you can spend $20 a month or $100, you know, that's a lot, but like, let's just say $100 a month to pay to win in the game. That is a completely different universe than if you can spend $10,000 every day. So like, for example, like a WoW subscription is in a way pay to win. And a, crystalline aura is in a way pay to win. Bonds in RuneScape are, to the best of my knowledge, pay to win. A subscription to Final Fantasy is pay to win, because you're able to access content and your character is able to become more powerful by giving the company money, right? So, in my opinion, I think that really the main issue is infinitely scaling pay to win. Is that somebody who spends $200 is more powerful than somebody who spends $100, and somebody who spends $500 is more powerful than somebody who spends $200. Is that making sense? It's pay to play though? No, it's not. Like, with Lost Ark, for example, I guess with like Final Fantasy and WoW, yeah, I guess you could probably say it's more pay to play. You're right about that, and I'll take those off the list. Like, I think that like in a theoretical, like a thought experiment, yes, I think I'm right. But like in a more practical sense, yes, Lost Ark is a much better example with the crystalline aura, because like you can't buy, for example, 2 crystalline auras and stack them. You can't buy like 10 crystalline auras and stack them, and like that's the difference. You can. So you can have the effects of 2 crystalline auras like on your character at the same time. No, just the length. Oh yeah, that's not what I meant. Let me go back. I just want to make sure that distinction is clear, because it is important. That's what I really have a problem with, is the infinitely scaling ones. But I think also, like, you have to spend only $100. That's still $100. It's a ridiculous amount of money. Founders passes are the first in a series of distinct access passes for players looking to engage with DrDisrespect's game as early as possible. I think that selling early access packages is not really that big of a deal. Like, I think almost every game, and this is just like the reality of game development, is that a lot of these games have to do something like early access to fund the rest of the development of the game. But I feel like games like PUBG that stayed in early access for years and they just got taken out of it arbitrarily because of the holiday season, and Microsoft made them do it. That was kind of my assumption. And that's the kind of stuff that really sucks, is whenever a game is stuck in early access forever. Early access is good for MMOs nowadays, or servers are just going to explode. That's true. You're right about that.
Are the first in a series of distinct access passes for players looking to engage with Doc's game as early as possible. And in order to receive one of these coveted Founders Passes, one has to apply on the Midnight Society website and then be approved via an application review. If you're one of the lucky 10,000 people to be chosen to receive and purchase a subsequent Founders Pass, you then have to pay $50 USD to acquire one of these NFTs. Upon purchase of one of these NFTs, users are first provided a procedurally generated profile picture. However, according to Midnight Society, it will not offer any in-game advantage. And according to Dexerto, these randomized profiles can be rare or super rare, depending on which armor, weapons, and backgrounds you get in your randomized profile picture. Once it's locked in, the one-of-a-kind item is then tradable across various cryptocurrency marketplaces.
Is this like the, yeah, so this is kind of the way I feel like DrDisrespect is explaining the NFT thing, okay?
You married your cousin or some stupid shit, no?
Yeah, no, she, her father.
It's explaining.
Is the brother of my mom.
So it's like, basically he goes and like he's explaining to fucking to Leonardo DiCaprio here what being a cousin means. It's like they're not saying NFTs, but he's like, instead of saying NFT, he's saying the definition of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is, yeah.
This is Robert Bowling, who is the Midnight Society co-founder, explains it like this. Once you own an access pass, it is yours to do with as you wish.
Well, you can
so
sell
while
it.
the base price begins at $50 for the first batch, figures could soon skyrocket as users trade the designs back and forth.
Why would that even be the case? Because if you were going to trade the items, like if you were going to trade all of these, then why would you even need a review of the person? How does that make any sense? Because the person is, if you need to do a background check or a check on the individual, why would it make a difference if they're being checked or not, if the person can resell the package to whoever they want? You think it's like a scam, like to sell the data, to scam people? I don't know. It's artificial scarcity. No, I don't think that's necessarily wrong. Like, I actually think that it's a good idea to only have a select amount of people testing the game and not everybody. And I think it's also a good idea to have some tests for the game go NDA, because like sometimes the game is going to come out in a rough state, and if you put that in front of the public, then people are going to think it's a bad game. And there's a lot of games that look bad at first and then they get better over time. So I don't think that's necessarily a mistake, but at the same time, I think that it's also worrying whenever it's combined with other things as well. So bots don't take all for one. That's my best example, or my best expectation of what it is. Like that's the best defense that I could have thought of too.
Furthermore, each Founders Pass in the first drop comes with a handful of bonus perks, providing owners with unique rewards. From early access with game builds and weapon tests to first dibs on minting new avatar features. There are multiple benefits listed, and this is again according to Dexerto. I'll have the article linked down below. Perhaps most notably, however, Founders Pass owners also gain voting rights throughout the game's ongoing development. Not only does this pertain to various gameplay features, but these votes can allegedly, very distinct keyword there, allegedly shape the future of a new meta economy designed specifically for the project. Industry pass holders, also known as the Eyes, will form guilds that run all in-universe manufacturing of weapons, mercenaries, and cosmetics. Whatever the fuck that means. Essentially, the Founders Pass is a VIP ticket to the Midnight Society and this game, Project Moon. It's an exclusive club that allows you to get first dibs on merchandise and future what they're calling Visor Cortex drops. My biggest concern is the fact that in the news regarding NFTs and crypto projects, there are a lot of bad actors out there. Guys like Jake Paul,
it's just
Ice Poseidon, Lana Rhodes, all pieces of shit.
I love how he says it. I just love how he says it, man. Oh my God. That's great. Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with this stuff. In my opinion, I wish that there was more accountability for this kind of stuff. But I think also there's a lot of players out there, like, I don't really have a big issue with like founders passes or stuff like this or whatever. I don't really care that much. But if you're like selling this like early access and it's like an NFT type thing, oh man, that's just a bit much. Can you go back a few frames? Who was the girl? Yo, chill, dude. Chill. Not give this NFT stuff a pass? Not like you need me to tell that? Fuck them. I mean, no. Here's the thing, right? Is like, I have not really seen a use of NFTs that have revolutionized something that did not already exist. Like, people can say concert tickets. Listen, guys, people have bought concert tickets for 100 years now. Like, we were able to buy concert tickets before NFTs. Like, you just go there and they scan your phone. You buy it on your phone and they scan your fucking barcode on the phone. And longer, yeah, it's like, this is not revolutionizing anything. This is just a new way of packaging it. It's a more secure way. I mean, like, maybe, but like a more secure way of selling concert tickets is just really not, in my mind, a huge selling point. Like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't care that much. Like, I just want to be able to buy the ticket and what about, like, prevents scalpers? I don't think it really does it? I mean, like, I think that, like, that's another cat and mouse example, right? Where, like, oh, maybe this prevents scalpers now, but they'll just be able to get around that too. NFT equals rug world? I love that.
Who have rug pulled their communities for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in recent months. Yeah. All of them pieces of shit. Now, I'm not saying that Doc is going to be the one to rug pull and scam his community. I just want to clear that up right now. I actually think Doc is going to make good on creating this project. He's been bringing in a lot of talent from the industry, and it's actually shaping up to be a pretty good development team.
Yeah, however, it's really disappointing that happened. It is. It's disappointing that he... that like now, because I think a lot of people are excited to see what Doc comes up with, regardless of if you think it's like good or not. Like, you're just excited to see what's going to happen. And for me, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious to see what the fuck is he gonna do? What's it gonna be? Right? Is it gonna be a BR? Is it gonna be like a fucking platformer? I'm assuming it's gonna be an FPS BR, right? I mean, that's just kind of what I would guess. But I don't really know, especially since he was, he worked on map design for Call of Duty. But the fact is that I don't really know. And so it's disappointing to see, them go with this NFT route whenever it seems kind of unnecessary. It seems like an unnecessary thing. And like, the way I would look at this is like, what it would concern me about is this. It would concern me that this is not, do you really think that if this goes well, that they're not going to make more NFTs in the game? That they're not going to add more ways for these NFTs to exist inside of the game? I think that it makes sense that it would. Imagine announcing NFT support before the game of the genre of the game. Yeah, I guess so. You bought NFTs with the Post Ark Founders Pack. Weird take. I bought an NFT with the Lost Ark Founders Pack. Did I buy an NFT with that? Yeah, what? Yeah, did I? Yes, I did. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I didn't. That's not an NFT. Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
This is the first outing of a company and a project, and in that first step, it clearly shows that Doc does not know his target audience at all. The backlash is already starting, with Doc having to defend the NFTs almost instantly at the start of his stream today by saying this.
Listen, in regards to NFTs, you don't have to have NFTs to play the game. It doesn't change your experience of the game once it releases, and it'll continue to be free to play, right? You can't buy your way to win.
Nobody cares about pay-to-win mechanics when it comes to NFTs, Doc. We simply ask why this needs to be on the blockchain. Is this not just an...
Yeah, that's my question, is like, then why? So it doesn't change your gameplay experience. It doesn't make you better at the game. It's not a way of storing materials. It's not a type of security. Well, then why? If it's free, it's no pay to win. Yeah, it's to make money. Yeah, and you need to make money. Yeah, I just don't think that it needs to be with NFTs. That's my perspective. Bad take, it adds value for those who like it and provides funding for development. No. It adds value for people that like it and provides funding for development. I think that, yeah, I think so. Definitely. And here's kind of what's happened with NFTs is that I like, for example, like I wanted to work on an NFT project like last year. And I decided not to do it because NFTs have just turned into, like, it seems like 99% of the time that I hear about NFTs, it's about some content creator who made an NFT and scammed their audience. It's basically like NFTs are not fundamentally bad, but whenever they are used in a bad way, 99% of the time, people are going to assume that they're bad. That's just the way it goes. It's like skins in CSGO. Yeah, I think so. Imagine you have a helmet. It's now Asmon's helmet, and it can be sold accordingly in game for currency, but now it has more value because it was yours. It's not yours, though, because the company owns the copyright to it, and they can delete your character whenever they want. They can just delete that item out of the database. It's not like a random line of text being yours. This is like owning a receipt. With the blockchain, it's not possible. It's not about the blockchain, because if you remove the function of something, you effectively remove it. Just because you still have the receipt for something doesn't necessarily mean that the receipt implies that the item actually exists. The receipt for something does not mean that the item exists. That's not how it works. Yes, it is. That's exactly how it works. So, like, for example, if you have let's say you have an NFT in DrDisrespect's game, and the game shuts down. Now what? Where can you use that helmet? Yeah. So that's the function of something, and the way that you can use it is also what matters too. It's on the blockchain. Listen, I have a pile of receipts in like the corner of my room. Just because I have a receipt for whenever I went to Taco Bell, that doesn't mean that I still have the taco. The receipt doesn't matter.
Early access founders pack like every other game does before you. Why the need for blockchain and crypto? Why is it necessary? Especially when the environmental concerns are something that you already needed to come out and address the first day that this announcement came out, by saying that it uses certain infrastructure that has a sliver of the environmental impact as traditional NFTs.
I don't really look at the environmental impact of like NFTs and crypto as a long-term thing. I think they'll probably get beyond that in one way or another. And like, I think so. I don't really know. I think obviously it's bad now, but making the environmental argument is not something that I really worry about it that much. Stop comparing receipts to blockchain. They're not comparable. You're right. Receipts are more valuable. You are absolutely right. Listen, I can go to the thrift store and I can get a, Pastor Johnson's 2014 Baptist Church Revival at fucking Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. I can go and get a shirt that says that, and there will only be 5 of them in the world. Nobody else will have these shirts. And you know what? It's still $1. Just because something is rare does not mean it is valuable. Just because something has some sense or some idea of exclusivity or whatever does not mean that it is valuable. This is how you can tell that NFTs have no real value. Is that how many people buy NFTs because they believe in a product versus how many people buy them because they use them as speculative assets to just go up in value. Every single person that I've ever talked to that does NFT stuff is just hoping that they can find somebody stupider than they are to buy their stupid picture for a little bit more than what they bought it for. That's what it is. Everybody talking about this shit, everybody get into this. That is the fundamental of what it is. It's not some sort of like new generation thing that like really matters, because if all this stuff really mattered, then why would these people be fucking throwing them around like hot potatoes? It's because they don't matter. It's because it doesn't have any intrinsic value. It's a fever dream that's invented by people that think that they're going to be on a yacht in 5 years with a bunch of models because they watched Wolf of Wall Street 10 years ago and they think they're the next Jordan Belfort. This is the prime American dream. NFTs are the prime pinnacle American dream. It is to get rich by doing nothing of any fucking value, and then on top of that, you did it because you were smarter than other people. And that's why NFT people, and that's why they get into this shit, and they think to themselves, oh, well, you're not going to make it. You don't understand. You need to be more educated, because it is a play on people's intelligence. You are indulging their intelligence and the idea that they are smart in order to take advantage of them by making them do things that a smart person would not do. This is a very simple scam. A lot of times whenever I would scam people, what I would say is that you know, or you understand. And the reason that I would say that and do that to those people is because that involves them and gives them a play on their intelligence. It makes them feel smart. And here's what the best part about this is it is actually harder to convince somebody that they have been scammed than to scam them in the first place. Because as soon as somebody indulges and gets into a scam and they say, hey, listen, I've been fucking scammed, they don't want to admit that they've been scammed, because that would admit that they're stupid. And they will double down on it, rationalize it, and make an excuse for it every single fucking time. This is 101 scamming basics with your boy, all right? I did this for 10 years. I know all the fucking tricks. I've done this myself. I've learned this. My dad did it for 50 years before I did, and then he taught me everything, and then I fucking read about this. I watch videos about it. This is all I would do, is I would wake up in the morning and think about ways to fucking scam people. And the fact is that this is just so obviously a fucking play and a scam. These are Beanie Babies for the fucking 2020s. That's all this is. Where are you scamming people out? I was a kid scamming people out like gold, runs, mounts, different resources, things in real life. I don't like talking about that, but like just plenty of fucking stuff. What I'm really trying to get at here is that this stuff, if they really thought it had value, they wouldn't be fucking selling it constantly. They wouldn't be fucking selling it constantly. The NFTs and like crypto to a lesser extent, but especially NFTs, they prey and they play on the base American dream to get rich doing nothing because you're smarter than other people. You understand? That's what it fundamentally is. Doc has to somehow make the money back. Well, I mean, the thing is, he just do it without this, right? That's all. People are not uneducated. People are wrongly educated. It's the people the reason why you have a lot of like the NFT people that say constantly, oh, you need to get educated on this, is because they have an implication in their mind that if you knew what they knew, that you would think the same thing. But there's a lot of people that just live in a delusion and they don't realize that other people understand it. They just think that it's fucking stupid. Right. And again, like, you need to educate yourself. Again, it puts them in a position of like a power, of superiority. Selling people on superiority is such an easy sell. It's like selling people by making them feel smart and better than other people, and by the idea of what's the word for it? Like instant gratification. Like, these two things are probably two of the strongest sales techniques that you see all the time. Used car salesmen do it all the time. Oh, well, you've got to buy it today. We've got a couple coming in tomorrow, and if you don't take it off the lot today, they're going to pick it up tomorrow. And like, that's the kind of shit that they do. And if you can't see this, you will be taken advantage of by it. Yeah, you know if you know, bro. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people know and they don't think it is. Why would they say educate yourself if they had a solid argument? They're full of shit, full stop. Yeah, that's why you keep hearing it. Funny how that's being seen as smarter than others. It's not smart. It's basically shooting yourself in the foot. Well, because they think that it's not. That's why. Get educated, you don't understand? Yeah, look at the amount of people that say that. Because they can't come to terms with the fact that people don't place value in what they're investing their money into. Because it's fundamentally valueless.
Feels really unnecessary to somehow tie crypto to this project when you haven't actually shown a proper use case outside of owning an exclusive patch or a profile picture that gets you exclusive
Who gives a
content.
shit about that?
This didn't need to be an NFT. There's no real benefit to putting this on the blockchain. They're talking about this meta economy,
I think it was a
but
mistake.
don't explain what that means. There's a lot of things with this project.
Someone said in chat, I think this was really insightful, is that what Doc might be trying to do here is trying to simulate the same type of economy that CSGO skins have. And I think that could very well be it. That could very well be it, and you could be right about that.
Aren't really explained that well, and I'm very confused. Like, what does it mean to have early access to industry guilds via the eyes? What does that even mean? And we're buying an NFT for $50 US. A lot of people are going to equate that to a video game pre-order purchase, but we don't even know what the game is yet. We have no idea. We know it's going to be a shooter. We obviously know it's going to be PvP, most likely a battle royale. So. What else is that? Like, we don't know anything. So it feels kind of weird that Doc decided to come out and just do NFTs before showing the actual product itself. And on top of all of that, we're still 3 to 4 years out from possibly...
I feel like, Doc, like this is kind of like one thing that happens with a lot of these content creators, and this is something that I've seen happen before myself, is a lot of times these content creators they'll get into like business, and they'll have like people that want to make money off of the project push them in a direction that maybe they might not be completely comfortable going, but they go with anyway, and then they get backlash like this. I'm expecting that Doc probably isn't a huge fan of NFTs, maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm obviously just fucking talking out of my ass here, but I think there's a good chance that Doc might not be the biggest fan of NFTs either, and just his marketing or production or development team thinks this is a really good idea, and so because he's the face of the product, he has to kind of defend it, you know? And, like, it sucks to be in that position, and, like, that's just what happens whenever you're in a big organization, but ultimately... It is his responsibility too. Like, and it's not like it. What I'm saying is it sucks, but that doesn't mean that there's like no responsibility. Does that make sense? Case in point, yeah, Valkyrie I think was a great example with the reflect stuff. Exactly. People already invest in NFTs heavily. They need to convince us it has value to make money out of it. Yeah, I think so too. By that logic, WoW scammed you for decades because all the gear and AVs have no intrinsic value, even one patch later. Well, no, because I didn't pay for those. I paid for access to the game. I understand. Listen, I understand that there's a lot of people that are, you know, these are big NFT people, and they try to come up with these like really like these like stupid gotchas. Because they're like, oh, well, you play video games. Imagine if you could have Invincible in any game you wanted. Yeah, sure. In my CS:GO loadout, I'm gonna should I go with the AK or the AWP? You know what? Actually, let's go with Fireball. No. No, like it's just like thinking about this for more than 10 seconds makes you realize how fucking stupid it is. Yeah, experiencing the game is what you pay for. Yeah, it's like they always come up with these like completely just like surface level gotchas. It's so sad.
Even seeing this game come to fruition, they're putting together the team and they're still hiring at this current moment. I myself am curious to see what Doc is going to do. Midnight Society is gathering a lot of good talent, according to what we're seeing on Twitter. I just feel like this is such a tone-deaf outing and announcement based on everything.
It was a huge mistake. It was a huge mistake. I think that whenever you have a product or whenever you're trying to sell anything, even if you're trying to sell yourself as an individual, the individual has to know why people watch them. So like, for example, there's different streamers that people watch for different reasons. So like if a girl that's like doing like ASMR stuff and she's wearing like a bikini and she's doing that all the time, if she suddenly stopped using a webcam, that would completely change her audience, right? People would just stop watching. It's the same thing as if they made a, like, for example, if you had an NFT or a fucking VTuber, and you had a female VTuber, and you originally were this cute little cat girl, and you had these little ears that, you know, they flutter every single time somebody donates, and you've got some milkers and, you know, a little cleavage, not too much, but it's tasteful. And then you change the next day, and instead of that, your new VTuber avatar is Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I wonder what that's gonna do to the viewership. It's probably going to change it. I think it's going to make it lower. I do. I think, like, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that it will make it lower. Carl's the man? Bro, where's my favorite clip of this shit? Where's my favorite fucking clip of this shit? God damn it, dude. I can't find this. An 8-minute clip. There was one time Meatball and Carl wanted to fucking play Frisbee. And Carl told Meatball to go along. Carl just threw the fucking frisbee on the roof. He says, oh man. Shit. I guess we can't play anymore. I love that show, man. Yeah, dude, I used to watch that shit every night. And so anyway, like, what I'm saying is, like, every content creator, like, for example, for me, right? Like, you guys watch me because you guys watching MMOs. And, like, for example, you also like watching me because I'm, you know, people think that I'm relatively authentic. And I can't believe I've fooled that many people. It's incredible. I've fooled that many people, right? But, like, if I put 50 different sponsor logos on my stream and I was constantly going live with, like, sponsored events and things like this, I think people have people that would change their perspective of me because they have already a image of what I am in their mind. And that's what ends up happening, is that a lot of these people, they, like DrDisrespect. How does this lead back into DrDisrespect? Sorry, I went out on the fucking the cat girl tangent. How does this affect DrDisrespect? One of the big reasons why people are excited about DrDisrespect is because he's been an outspoken voice in gaming. He's been incredibly critical about games over the years. And this is a content creator that, while yes, it is a character and everything like that, this is somebody who people generally like and people feel like they can to some degree trust. They feel like they can trust, and they've watched Doc for years. They think that they know Doc, and to a certain degree, I think that they might actually know him, right? If you guys watch me for years, you know pretty good. You do probably know me kind of well, right? That's just what happens if you watch somebody for that long. And anyway, what I'm saying is that whenever you do something, and like, so you look at like, what are the virtues that Doc has that makes people excited about his content? He is a big content creator. He is, to a certain degree, authentic about who he is, even though who he is a joke, right? And it's like, those are the two main, I think, now that I think about it, those are the two main things. And he's a person in the community. So if you remove and you change that authenticity into doing something like NFTs or whatever, that really hurts people's perception because it is fundamental to the image that he's created. It's kind of what I said before about how somebody can only get canceled if they get banned or if they contradict what their public image is. So, like, for example, like, there have been people that have actually gotten canceled. Do you want to know how Keemstar could actually get canceled? Is if he made an apology video. If Keemstar made an apology video, like, let's say Keemstar finally, the Alex drama comes up again, and Keemstar finally decides to do like a, you know, he does an apology video. He's sitting in front of his bed. He's crying. He says, "This is the hardest video I've ever had to make, guys. And by the way, it's brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. And, you know, my favorite character is this pumpkin guy with a sickle. He's really cool, and you can play him for $5. Now, anyway, I'm sorry for being racist." You know, like, that's basically what it is, right? If Keem made a video like that, and he had like a link to some charities, like social cause charities, that would be the worst. Keem's audience would fucking hate that. They would absolutely fucking hate that. But in the same way, if one of the super progressive, you know, very like outspoken, like, I don't know about Hassan, if that's like a really good example, but especially people like Hassan could sometimes be an asshole, right? That's why I like him. But like, the fact is that there are a lot of other ones that are like way more sanctimonious, right? If you have like a super sanctimonious person and then it comes out that this person is actually, you know, this terrible guy or whatever. I think the best example is how many times in like the 90s and the 2000s did some preacher or some fucking televangelist fly around on his fucking private jet full of, you know, hookers and drugs whenever he lands, and he tells people they're going to go to hell for that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like, that's what, yeah, Ellen. I think Ellen DeGeneres is a great example. That is a perfect fucking example of somebody who genuinely, pretty much in a way, got canceled for a while because she contradicted her public image. Like, for me, I understand that about myself. Ellen DeGenerate, yeah, I mean, look, who gives a fuck, right? I don't really watch the show. I never thought that she was that bad. I never thought she was that good. It is what it is. So what I'm trying to get at is that contradicting your public image is the only way that you can truly get canceled by your audience. It would be better for Keem if he said the N-word again with the hard R than if he apologized for it. And that's the truth. Let me watch the video. You guys, question marks? You're an idiot? Probably not right. People are mauling in chat. People are mad because they know that I'm right. They know that I'm right. I'm thinking of like other examples of this happening. You're losing it? What the fuck? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because he's cultivated a community of people that don't care about that kind of stuff. And part of his personality is not caring about that stuff. So if he changes that, he alienates that community. It's common sense. Louis C.K. had that happen because he was a sanctimonious asshole that constantly used his different fucking, he would constantly make statements about things, and then it turns out that he's jerking off into ferns next to women. Absolutely right, yeah. Listen, that's what I mean. Mods, delete the 600 upvote thread on your subreddit. I'll talk about that afterwards. Let me focus on this. And I understand that this is like, this might be a very hot take, but I believe it's true. I genuinely do. Now, he would get banned. By the way, he would get banned. But if he didn't get banned, it wouldn't matter.
Else that we're seeing in the industry. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content just like this. And if you guys enjoy the content enough, become a member like these beautiful people that you see on screen right now. Make sure you guys pick up a mouse pad and a t-shirt from my apparel brand, ttkapparel.com. If you guys spend $50 on any sort of combination of t-shirt, mouse pad, whatever, you can get 15% off your order automatically applied at checkout. We have worldwide shipping, and we're just getting started.
Amazing.
My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching.
I haven't watched one of this guy's videos before.
I
haven't seen any of this guy's videos before. I really like how he said piece of shit. Like, I really thought, like...
pulled their communities for hundreds of thousands, if not millions, pulled their community. Biden, Lana Rhodes, all pieces of shit who have a rug.
God, that feels so... It's just... It's so, like... It was so... Just fucking... Yes. Yes. There it is, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that was bass. Yeah, it was just like... the way he said it, it was just like... Yeah. That's right, dude. It's authentic. Yeah, there you go. There's a video. I never watched one of this guy's videos before. Bigfrytv. And yeah, give him a sub, give him a like. I think this is a good video, and it's talking about something that would be disingenuous if he apologized. He did go with the hard R. He'd be able to stay in character instead of breaking it to conform with the masses. Exactly. It's all about staying in character and meeting people's expectations. Even if people's expectations are fucking terrible. If people's expectations are fucking terrible of you, not meeting those expectations is sometimes a bad thing. How many content creators, like I'm gonna give you an example, right? How many content creators had a very toxic past, and whenever they tried to distance themselves from that toxic past, it ended up killing their community and alienating people. Think about how many people were like that. I mean, do you guys have some examples? You know, I'm sure I could probably think of at least one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I can't. But, you know, it's something like that. You had a toxic past? I really didn't, though. Like, the truth is that I am just as much of an asshole now as I was back then. I am no more or no less of an asshole. I am the same piece of shit motherfucker that existed, you know, fucking 10 years ago. Like, the only thing is that I try to be a little bit more charismatic on camera so people write it off like it's funny. That's it. Yeah, I haven't changed. If you go back and you watch the old videos and you listen to what I'm saying, it's actually the same stuff. I'm sitting in the same room, in the same computer. I'm reading you guys off of the same monitor that I played Wrath of the Lich King on, and I am never going to change. I don't want to. You censored yourself, though? I have to censor certain things I say. You're right about that. And that's true. There are certain things that I would say and I would do. Like, I would just, like, for example, I mean, whenever I was dating Izzy, I wouldn't do this, right? Obviously. But, like, if I was single, right, I would just go and, I would just rate girls only fans on stream. I would pay the money and I would rate their porn on stream. I would do that. Yeah, it'd be funny. Yeah, it'd be great. Great content. Yeah, great fucking content. I would do that. And I have literally no reservations about that. That is some pog fucking content. You are right. That would fucking rock. Yes, it would. Like, I can come up with 100 different examples like this. Like, if you want to talk about degenerate, fiendish, disgusting, horrible, soulless content, I'm your guy. But I just can't do it. Yeah, I just can't do it. That's all. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Kids watching Twitch, by the way. kids are gonna watch whatever they want. I mean, like, the thing is, like, nowadays, like, if you don't want your kid watching something, don't buy them a fucking phone. If you don't want your kid getting on the internet, don't buy your kid a fucking phone, or buy them like one of those kids' phones where they just can't access certain things. It's like parents, they're dumber than their kid with their phone. The kid knows more about the phone than they do, and then they get upset because the kid runs circles around them, getting around their fucking things. Parents always want to blame somebody else because they can't be a good fucking parent. That's always what it is. They're always trying to displace. Oh, it's the platform's fault. It's somebody else's fault. Like, nah, bro, that's your fault. Why don't you take care of your fucking kid? Pay attention to what he's doing. But you're too busy with your own life, and you want to blame it on somebody else. And it's also not that simple. There are some things that a platform should do to prevent certain types of content from being on the platform because it could be harmful to younger audiences, or it could be bad in a certain other way, like gambling. I agree. I do agree, but it's not a one or the other. It's a lot of both. It's like a 50-50, I would say. Would you watch people snacking on their own wiener on stream if you could? A self-dick, that would be a good one, right? I could have viewers send in, oh, that would be really good. A viewer send in competition of who can get closest to sucking their own dick. Oh, wow. Have like a competition for that? That would be, wow. I'm telling you, it's impossible. Well, let's see how close we can get, you know? Yeah, this is PG Asmongold. Like, I'm telling you guys. Like, there's a reason why, you know, like, I've been on the internet for 15 years, man. Like, my mind is warped beyond, like, there are people that have been on the internet for so long that they are only sexually attracted now to animals that don't exist. You understand that? They have evolved so much sexually that they are only sexually attracted to animals that do not even exist. That's where we're at. That's the world that we're in here. Okay? The unicorn dick. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. There's plenty of them. So I'll look at the thing on Reddit, then I want to look at a couple of other videos, okay, guys? I want to just go through these, and then we're going to play some games. I want to get a little bit more Elden Ring content today. We'll do some stuff in Lost Ark, but other than that, I want to get some more Elden Ring. I want to get some real work done today, all right? I want to go to work. So let's go take a look at these posts, and then we're going to move on, okay? Let me make sure I'm scrolled all the way up, and yes, I am. And let's go ahead and refresh, and we will take a look at everything. How do you know they exist? The universe is big. Well, listen, there has been some conversation that there's a chance that there actually are cat girls, and that Elon Musk has them captured all in the basement of SpaceX. I've heard about this. I think there's a good chance that it could be true. I think that it's about 50-50. I've thought about tweeting at him and seeing if I could get, you know, a confirmation about this, but I think that he'll probably be a little bit too busy. And so, yeah, Benji video, we're going to knock that out, but I want to look at some of the Reddit stuff, too. I just thought of the DrDisrespect thing, and I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was very interesting, and it's the NFTs thing, and you guys know how much I fucking hate NFTs. So that's about it. And actually, I don't really hate NFTs. I want to make this very clear. I hate 99.9% of NFTs. You know what I thought would be a really cool idea? Is to create effectively a punch card for people that attended different OTK events, and if you attend enough events, we send you free merch. And the punch card would be created through a handshake system through the blockchain. I thought that would be really cool. That would actually be something cool for you guys. There's no money in it or anything like that. That would just be awesome. So I don't have a problem with NFTs fundamentally. I just have a problem with 99.9% of them. Actual NFT usage. Yeah, there you go. And I even thought about also, like, for example, like using, like, there's also another thing where, like, I wanted to use every single one of these Microsoft Paint things that I did. I wanted to mint them into NFTs and have the different viewers bid on them and then take the money and donate it to a charity for people that bid on the NFTs of these Microsoft Paint drawings. But the reason why I don't do it, this is the reason, is because I feel like by doing it, I'm promoting the idea of NFTs, and I don't really want to promote the idea of them because it somehow, like, normalizes it and it hurts other people. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I walked it back and I didn't do it. And I feel like the perception of NFTs is just so negative that even if it was done in a completely harmless way, people would still be hostile towards it. I thought about this a lot. All I do is lay in bed and jerk off and think. So that's about it. It could be normalizing correct usage. You're right about that, and that's another really good point. I thought about that, and I'm still not completely off the table with it, but we'll see.